It's Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock to share with you some of the things I'm working on, Stampin' Up! Specials, anything Stampin' related. And today we have another suite that is being featured in our Sweet sale in the month of June. Anything ordered from a suite is buy one, get one half price. So that's a great deal depending upon what you're getting. But anyway, I like to feature the suites, and that's what I'm doing for all my classes this month as well. So I have classes starting tomorrow in person, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And those of you who are local probably already know about it, but if you need more information, you can just contact me. But this is one of the cards from the classes that are going to be held this weekend. So let's go ahead and take a look. So I'm going to be using what's called the Celebratory Sips suite, and it features this bundle called Cheers and Sips. And these are the dies, or some of the dies. There are a couple that I'm going to be using, so they're over here. But then we also have the photopolymer stamps that go with it. So this is the bundle within there, and there's also designer series paper and some fun little embellishments. So we're going to use those items today, and I'm going to show you how. So of the paper, now I can't show you all the paper because honestly I've used it all up just prepping for class, etc. But I want to share with you this particular sheet of paper. It comes like this. It's one row of these and one row of these, and I was like, oh, that's nice. I didn't really think anything of it until I learned that what you need to do is use the die that creates a glass, and there are two of them. This one is the one that we're using for class, and we cut out this adorable little glass, and here's one that's already done. So you can see, isn't that fun that you can actually cut out the glass, and it's filled, and it has that coloring that is kind of watery looking, so it's really great. And this one you could also use. It also works with this in a pinch, but it is designed to be used with the tall glass, which is right here. And look at that. So you can fill your glass as much or as little as you want, and that will create a tall glass. So very fun, the way that they thought of this. And now, of course, there are other little embellishments. There are strawberries and lemons, limes, whatever, berries. We've got some garnish for maybe a Bloody Mary. We've got umbrellas, ice cubes, olives. So you can see all, hopefully you can see all different kinds of things that you can, embellish your drinks with. So I wanted to share that with you. And what I'm going to be doing for my class, and like I said, I'm going to pre-cut these out. And the reason for that is because every single station for my classes uses a big shot, and I only have 2 big shots and a mini, and I wanted to make a couple of the cards where you didn't have to use the big shot. So I went ahead and die cut out all of the glasses, and what you're going to do in class, or you could do this on your own, is normally I stamp and then die cut, but in this instance we're going to die cut and then stamp. So if you're coming to class, you want to make sure that you put it on a dark background to make it easier to see where you're placing your stamp. But I'm just using my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and you can see I missed the top there a little bit, but so just be careful when you're stamping. So it may or may not come out perfectly, but trust me, it's going to be just fine. So once you've got that stamped, I'm going to do one other thing. Let me just move that out of the way, and I just need to grab a piece of scrap paper because, as you know, I'm using my glass mat, so I just want a little piece of paper underneath because I'm going to use this little line, and this little line is going to make the handle for my little umbrella that's going to go in my drink. So how fun is that? So we'll go ahead and just stamp that, and you can make it go off the edge if you want. But that's how it looks. And, not too impressive just like that, but wait till we put it all together. So we've got our glass now, and let's put some ice cubes in there. Now, when you're using ice cubes, you can use, we could do them in black, but I don't think that looks quite right. And this may not be the best way to do it, but this is our craft white ink pad. I'm not sure if it's the most current one, but it works the same as whatever we're selling now. When you get it, it's not inked, and then you have to add your craft ink to it. It comes together as a bundle, and it's Whisper White. And I'm going to just tap on here, and we're going to subtly add some ice cubes, and you'll see that I stamped it twice. Check that out. Look, we got little ice cubes in there, and they're very subtle. So how fun is that? And you'll be able to, as it dries, they'll be a little bit more pronounced. But there we have our little ice cubes. So much fun. I was so excited when I learned I could do that. So, okay. So let's go ahead and assemble a card using these pieces. And we're going to come back to this in a minute because I have a little trick to show you, but not for the class. So I'm starting with some Flirty Flamingo Designer Series cardstock. This is just plain cardstock. I don't know what I'm thinking. Getting ahead of myself. And it's 8.5 by 11, cut in half, and then folded in half. And we're going to put some basic white on the inside, as I always do when the color is even a little bit dark. Now, you know that I showed you all the different drinks, so, some of them are going, not everybody's going to have exactly the same card because you can choose whatever drink you want. This is some kind of a cocktail there, right? And we're also going to take a piece of white and put it on the front of the card. All the measurements for this are, of course, in the description for this video, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. You'll be able to find all the measurements for what I'm using. Okay, and now that we've got that, we wanted to create a little bit of a background, so I grabbed another one of the sheets of the Designer Series paper, and I cut them into 1-inch strips. This one happens to be 5 3/4 inches tall, and I'm going to lay that down, and the reverse side, see, this is the reverse side. The reverse side are these cute little pink polka dots. And so we're going to put them down just like that. And I wanted to maximize the use of my paper. As I mentioned, it's actually, this paper is currently, I believe, on back order, but coming back next week. So it's not, but it wasn't soon enough for my class, right? So actually, my friend who actually lent my downline, Lois, who lent me the set, because I don't actually own this one. I can't own everything, but thankfully my downline share with me. And she is going to bring me one more sheet of this paper so that I have enough for everybody. Okay, so this is now becomes our background, but we want something to ground it all. And so this is a piece of Flirty Flamingo, just plain DSP. Of course, you could be, using dry embossing on the backgrounds if you wanted to. You could dry emboss this if you wanted to, but I'm just going to go with that. Might look fun, like with the dotted circles. So this is the layout that we're using. And then I took some white cardstock and I die cut this using, and this will be done for those of you coming to class. It's already done for you, but it's a circle from Stylish Shapes. And we're going to be adding this here as our focal point for our card, and we're going to put a message, and I chose to use, we're going to use 2 stamps. We're going to use cheers and to you, cheers to you. So I'm going to lay down the cheers first. Did I get that dirty already? Oh my goodness, yep, I got ink on me. Okay, good thing that I did some extras. Tend to make a mess, even though I don't mean to. So I'm just going to put cheers right at the bottom of my circle. As you can probably guess, we're going to put our drink on top of that. And we're going to do cheers, and then right underneath there, we're going to do to you. So you could do it with the cheers, you could do the to you, or not do the to you. That's up to you. That's up to you. Isn't that clever? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this to our card, and I'm going to use dimensionals. As you know, I don't like to use too many dimensionals on a card. I don't want too many layers, I should say. I don't want it to get really thick. So I like to keep it to one, possibly two if necessary. And you'll see on this card that we're just going to use the one. So I'm going to put that right about there. I want a little bit showing out the bottom here, and I want to be able to see my DSP. And then we're going to add our beverage. And you can do it to the side. You could do right in the center. I'm going to do it a little off to the side over here. And I'm just going to use a little of the Stampin' Seal, a regular adhesive, if you will. And that is going to just go right onto our card. And one more thing. We're going to add the top to our umbrella because, you know, we've got this thing sticking out and it looks kind of funny just like that. So there is a die and a stamp for the umbrella. So here's the die. And what I did, again, because I'm trying not to use the Big Shot at every single station, even though I could, and I often do, I just used the reverse side. This is actually the drinks that I showed you before, the drink sheet that I showed you before. And this is the reverse side. It's these little cloud cover sparkles on there. And you could just leave it like that and put it on your card, but we're going to actually stamp the umbrella. And I'll show you. Again, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. Ink it up. And you're just going to aim. And what I like to do is I'm aiming for the circle at the top, but also the little things that stick out at the bottom. I don't even know what they're called. But when you do that, and that came out a lot better than my drink did, because I put my head down a little further. It's always hard when you got a camera in your face. So here we go. We've got our little drink topper, and I'm going to actually use a dimensional, and I'm going to put it, like I often do, right where I want it to go, because I do want some overlap here so that it looks like the drink, I'm sorry, that the stick part of the umbrella is in the drink entirely. And this way, there we go. We've got our little umbrella, and it's all on the same level. Now, we're also going to use from that same the same suite, we have these holographic resin dots, and they are supposed to mimic bubbles. So I thought that was awfully cute. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and I've got a little spot here. I wouldn't normally put one of my dots there, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put, let's see, so that was, I think, one of the littler ones. So there's small, medium, and large. So we're going to use one of each, please, if you're coming to class. That way there's enough for everybody, because otherwise we won't have enough. There are a lot here, but there are a lot of people who come to class too. So I'm still making a triangle. My triangle is going to be a little upside down. I'll show you what I did on my original card. And I'm going to put one here. You can even put it in the glass, but there you have it. So that's one of the cards that we're making tomorrow. So here's my other sample right there. But I want to show you one more thing. We're not going to be doing this in class because, again, we're not using the Big Shot, and this requires stamping before you die cut. But I'm going to go ahead and use this one on the end here, and we're going to go ahead and stamp the glass. And I'm going to stamp the umbrella to the umbrella stick as well, because we'll do that. So this is my little extra pointer for those of you following along. Okay, so we've got our drink, and now we're going to be die cutting it out. But before I die cut it out, guess what we're going to do? Those of you who followed along with me before, you've seen me do this, but we're going to take some clear packing tape. And this is just the regular Scotch packing tape. And I'm going to, I hope it's not dirty, but if you want to put bubbles and actually ice cubes. Let's do some ice cubes too, right? Oh, and I didn't do my drink either. So I'm sorry, I didn't do my umbrella. But here you can see these ice cubes as well a little bit better when you put them on here. So there's the ice cubes, and then I'm going to put our umbrella stick, and then we're going to lay down the packing tape so that it looks shiny like a real glass. So watch what happens. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get up, and I'm going to die cut this. I'm going to just fold this over. For now, you could cut it off, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and die cut this and show you what it looks like when it's done. So I have to go offline, so give me 1 second. I'm hoping it comes out. I'm over here just die cutting. Sorry for that downtime. Here's my die cutting machine, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, crackling as it often does, which is normal. But look at this. Here we have our glass, and now it's shiny. So you could achieve this by embossing. I've seen some people do that with a Versamark pad and then sprinkle on clear embossing powder. But I think this is a way easier way to do it. And again, I would have done it for class, except it's not going to work with this particular class because we need the die cutting machine. But wouldn't that be cute? Added to our card like so. And you would put it right under there. And there you have it. So that gives it a little shimmer and a little something extra. So there's your tip for today. And that is the card for class that we made. And again, all of this is available or will be back in stock very shortly for the Celebratory Sips Suite, and is all part of the Sweet sale that we have going on in the month of June. If you have any questions on anything, please feel free to ask. Drop me a line, DM or a comment, and I will make sure that we answer your questions. So anyway, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.